Let's get you all the wrap of the market news now. And markets ended lower this Friday, contracting gains in a record-setting week. The benchmark indices were dragged by declines in power, utilities, FMCG and realty stocks. Hiral Dadia with the wrap of all the market action.
As expected, we did see selling pressure in today's session and the markets snapped the 8-day winning streak. Overall, if you see in terms of Nifty 50, we've ended below the 19,350 mark in today's session. Sensex ended with cuts of almost around 550 points. And you had Bank Nifty, which underperformed the benchmark in the season trade. Except auto as well as the PSU banking space, you had all the other sectoral indices which actually ended with cuts. And the market breadth actually turned in favor of the bears as well. So overall, sell on rally, buy on dips is the strategy what investors are looking at. And in the last 8 trading sessions, you had Nifty which had seen a run-up of almost a little over 850 points. So it was absolutely evident that, a profit booking scenario would be on the cards so far. Overall, after this kind of a sell-off next week as well, analysts are expecting this kind of sell-off to continue for the next couple of trading sessions till we see some bit of stabilization that comes in. In terms of movers and shakers, Tata Motors, the top gainer in terms of Nifty 50 on the back of the JLR numbers that did come in. Titan on the Q1 update was seeing some strong gains. M&M continues the upward journey for a second consecutive day, and you had a TCS as well as SBI which saw some smart gains. On the losing end, you had Adani Ports, Britannia, Indocent as well as Apollo Hospitals. Let's quickly look at the newsmakers. Zee Entertainment saw a good run in the last hour of trade in today's session. Olectra, on the back of an order win, was up around 17 to 18% in trade. All Cargo Logistics was in focus as well on the back of the 26% price target cut by Jefferies. Subros jumped by around 11%, and this was again on the back of the commentary from Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari with regards to the notification on the AC cabins. Intellect Design, IOC as well as Praj Industries, Kalyan Jewelers were few of the other names which were the newsmakers of the day as well. But one of the key highlights was ITIA Forge, which listed with 94% listing gains, and that was one of the key highlights of the day as well. Liquor counters stumbled in trade on the back of Karnataka duty hikes. And you had a Seat and JK Tyre which saw a good run in yesterday's session that saw profit booking today. So overall, a lot of stock-specific action in today's session, but clearly the markets are seeing profit booking at higher levels. Back to you.
Amid global headwinds, the Indian IT too has been in the doldrums. Jinesh Gopani of Access AMC talks about the impact of the slowdown in US in the Indian IT. Is it a good time for Indian investors to bet on the IT sector? Listen in.
I think clearly, Neeraj, if you look at Accenture quarter which came by, though they missed the guidance what they had given, I think the stock did not react to that extent. Which maybe if you can just think around and just see what can happen. And again, I don't know what will happen, but it looks like that if it is a soft landing in US, I think you will see 2 quarters or 3 quarters of slow growth or some pain in the for the IT sector, but then the long-term story should be very, very strong. So what we are doing is we are equal weight. We think there is sort of a bottoming out process which is happening. And if it's a soft landing, I think then there is a play for next 2-3 years. As and when you see the Microsofts of the world or the Amazons of the world or Googles of the world start talking positive about their cloud growth, and on that adding to this chat GPT kind of a new business model which can further help in terms of the other IT companies to have a better play. I think once you hear them in next 1 or 2 quarters that the cloud revenues have started bottoming out and it is going to go up, I think we should see even Indian IT companies starting to go up. So I think we are not that negative, maybe 1 quarter here and there or 2 quarters here and there, but it is not that the sector is just out and in dumps unless US goes into hard landing.
Drone manufacturing company Idea Forge made a stellar debut on the Lal Street. The shares listed at a price of over 1,300 rupees, a premium of 94% over the IPO price. Despite it being India's first mainboard drone-centric public company, investors piled on with the offer being subscribed 106 times. BQ Prime Sajit Mangat spoke to the CEO of Idea Forge about their order book.
We have various users unlocking around inspection, spraying, and agriculture side of the house. So we are seeing a fairly large growth as far as the segment is concerned on the civil side, owing to the benefits that have unlocked due to the various changes in policy that have happened, particularly given the push in the pandemic that was needed because nobody wanted to go close to people, and there was lack of availability of manpower, and therefore technology became a source of being able to deliver some of these solutions on ground. And since then, various geopolitical events regarding the various wars that have happened around the world have again changed the color of the defense industry as well in terms of the participation of drones in that industry. So there is a visible push towards inducting drones in fairly large numbers, not just in our armed forces, but across the world, given what happened during the last couple of wars that we've seen globally and the role that drones have played in terms of what's happening out there. So we are expecting that the momentum is going to continue on both these sides, and the penetration from the base that we have in India, which is fairly small at this point in time relative to many global markets, but the pace of growth is going to be very robust in the industry.
The Reserve Bank of India has released a draft circular on the issuance of debit, credit and prepaid cards and has sought people's feedback on the same. By the 4th of August, users will now be able to switch card networks from Visa to MasterCard to RuPay and so on. My colleague Smriti Chaudhary shares more details.
You may be able to switch from MasterCard to RuPay or Visa to MasterCard. The Reserve Bank of India in a draft circular has proposed changes to the relationship between card issuers and networks like MasterCard, Visa and RuPay. The rules would prohibit exclusive arrangements between the card issuer and these networks, allowing customers to switch card networks at will. For instance, you are currently able to make UPI payments using RuPay credit cards, but not with MasterCard and Visa cards. The value-added services on these cards are provided by the card networks and not the issuers. So switching from one network to another may potentially provide you more benefits on card usage. However, the switch will only be possible if you're eligible, which is usually based on your income and credit score. According to a private banker who spoke to BQ Prime, only 5 to 10% of customers would make a choice of selecting card networks in addition to a specific card. Bankers are now in a tizzy to understand the motivation behind such rules. While exclusivity is one part, other reasons include giving a boost to RuPay cards. While there has been an increased demand in RuPay cards, exclusive pre-existing arrangements between card issuers and networks may be hampering the adoption of RuPay, a private banker said. Furthering portability in payments ecosystem and notching up competition between card networks may also be the reason behind bringing such rules. The change have therefore seemingly been proposed as a way to expand customer options. The central bank has invited comments on these draft rules from stakeholders by August 4.
And that's a wrap of all the business news of the day.